I hate to sound like the bear. I love cryptocurrency. I love trading it. But my God, has this cycle been an absolute fucking disgrace. And a lot of great conversations today on Twitter. But we gotta talk. We got to talk. Because the SPX today, oh man. Things are weird, fellas. Things are weird. Okay. Man, where I want to start with this, I guess we'll start on the SPX chart. I was going to start with Bitcoin, but you know, we've been starting with Bitcoin a lot lately, but let's start with the SPX. So, I'm moving the fractal again because why not? We'll just let it do its thing. I honestly about to just delete it. But what the fuck is going on? What's going on here? Okay, it's like every time we're trying to inch up to a new high, it just sells off. Same thing today. So we hit 7,000, pretty much right on the money, 7,005 on the SPX futures. And that was 69.65 of the SPX. Right? And then we just sold off, and then the VIX just shot up a bunch, right? Like it's up almost just under a full point from yesterday's low. And we're getting to a really weird position because let's look at front month volatility here. So this 1 month implied correlation index really paints a big picture of the market, right? You get these high spikes similar to the VIX, usually marks a low, but you get these lows and you kind of get these drawdowns, right? And what's happening? We're about to come down to the lows again, right? So we're at 9 right now, and has it ever gone below 0? No, 0 is kind of the lowest it's gone. That was here, went to 2.8. So basically, I would almost mark down like the 10 range, maybe just below it, to be kind of the low point of where corrections start. You know, we could even, I don't know, we could even just create a little box here. Okay, and then where is 0? That's close enough. That'll do for me. Okay. So we're coming into the zone now, and I'd honestly argue that we could just use a little line here because, I mean, sure, we'll call that the line for now. But anyways, regardless of what I'm seeing, is we're close to some volatility, and I've been saying this for a while, and I don't think it's rare for anyone to think, like especially right now. But it's either one. It's going to come down and do this same thing here, where it did these 2 spikes and hit here before dropping, right? And what happened the last time it went low, right, was it came here and we got a correction. Came here, we got a sell-off, right? Not a correction, pardon me, a sell-off, right? But what I don't like is, like, if we look at it just kind of from this perspective here, this thing looks like it's ready to pop and probably break through and make a high, right? I just, like, we know we're overdue for a bit of a big fuck up, right? Like, doesn't matter how you look at it, whatever. Like, we know the market's overheated and overdue. I just don't have a price target of 1 where it's going to drop to exactly. Like, I'm expecting closer to 56, 5800 personally, but we could get a bounce above that easily. I honestly, when it comes to it, I'm just going to go off the indicators. But my biggest issue is when this correction is going to happen. And I've been saying it's probably going to happen in Q1, and I'm betting on February along with 50 Cent, just going off other data, including this, including the VIX front month futures, right? Right, we can even see that going in here to the front months here, we're due, right? But like, look at February. February's still rising pretty good, right? But we know we're due. It's hard to say what's going to happen and what, like, the correction's going to be, when it's going to happen, what the VIX is going to be. But I don't like how the SPX has been doing this weird pattern where it has these, like, up days. Like here's the 31st of December, right? Where's 31st of December? Let's go back here. The index opened up here, pushed up in the early part of the day, and then just sold off. And then same thing with the Friday, where it just kind of, it started off high and then just sold off, right? But we keep getting these weird days where, like, it's up and then it just sells off, right? Like it comes up and just sells off hard, and it sells off fast. Like it's selling off very fast. And if you guys remember last week, right, we had that weird scenario where at the end of the days we're selling off hard, and like contracts were going from like $50 to $70, 50 cents to $70, 50 cents to $7, pardon me. And it's like every kind of push we get, regardless if you want to call this short squeezing or not, it's like no one wants to hold and no one wants to be a buyer at the highs, right? And I'm just thinking like a front month futures of front month volatility and whatnot, like, are we pricing in what is going to catch people off guard? And it's like we're trying to break out from an RSI standpoint, but we're kind of just making like I don't know how to really graph this, but you see what I mean? Like it's kind of just holding this. And it's kind of trying to stay above the medium here. It's trying to stay above the middle line here. But it's holding underneath the oversold area. Our breadth here is like it's just making like lower highs. And even CSEO, it's been showing that like regardless of any bounce you're getting here, that this is sellable, right? Like if you kind of just look at the historical patterns here, it's showing that we want some sell-off. And I mean, I guess the NASDAQ kind of got above its trend here, but I'm wondering if this is going to be like a weird look above and fail scenario. Right? Look at this. We kind of got the camel humps going on there, right? But it's like look at today, right? Here we go, where we just gap up last week and we're going. Boom, we make an all-time high. And just straight selling, not even an attempt out of buyers to step up here. And if you looked at this too on the options part of the day, like through the Greeks, like the gamma and the charm exposure, the minute we got up here, everything flipped around. It was like straight Vanna sell-off, straight dealer suppression. And again, no one wants to be buyer, right? And I mean, even just looking quickly here, like at the tech stocks, like Meta was down, Google was up. Google actually carried part of the day. Nvidia gained nearly 2 points. Right, but even Nvidia, like it's just been range bound this entire time. And I mean, look, like Dell was down, Open got hit hard after all the real estate news today. Actually, let's talk about that. So the HGX today, look at that, dropped nearly 5 points. We'll call it 4 points. But look at that. And we've been talking about how important the HGX is, right, compared to something like the S&P, right? Because usually these move pretty in sync. But right now, it's diverged, right? And, I mean, we can look at the XLRE, same thing, right? It's just not catching a bit. Like, real estate doesn't look healthy. I'll be honest, real estate doesn't look healthy at all. XLE today, remember I said to bid this breakout? The pump was great, but ultimately it just came back into range with the Venezuela invasion. And I mean, this is probably going to be a failed breakout and a break lower if I was to guess. But look, like the majority of the sectors down. The only one that was up today was XLV, right? Like everything getting hit hard. Oil's looking like it wants to move lower. Gold catching a bit of a sell-off too. It's kind of failing to break out. I don't know. I actually think this still will keep going. I just don't know what it's going to do short term. The yen still looks like it wants to break out. It's still consolidating, but it looks like it wants to break out here on a weakness scale. The XLF today down nearly half a basis point. Once this XLF goes, like, I don't think people understand. Like, once the XLF sells off, this is done. Because tech is lagging so bad. Like, it still isn't caught up in any way. The mags are weak. Like, the mags, it's moving sideways. And historically, when the mags move sideways, like, look, sideways, down. Sideways, I expect this to come down. Right? Sideways, down. Like, when these really don't want to pick off here and get in the right direction upwards, it's not a good sign, right? Like JP Morgan today, down 2%. Goldman Sachs, down 1.5%. Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Berkshire just looks like it wants to break lower. I mean, look at all these little private credit and CCBDs. Is that the right word? Like, they're all down. Only one up was Flagstar, right? The treasuries, I mean, they're still elevated. They've shown no signs of breaking lower. You know, the Japanese yields still fucking off the cliff to the fucking moon. And it's like even Bitcoin today. We're gonna talk about this in a second, but it's like it doesn't want to bid. Like no one wants to buy that, right? Even the altcoins today, like they took a bit of a beating. Oh man. So I guess the point I'm trying to make here is, who wants to be a buyer where you're failing to kind of break out, like you're just getting these breakouts and sell-offs, and real quick, is this the high in 2025? This is now the high. Okay. Well, we gotta change these view apps. But so we're gonna adjust this because that was the October high. This is the highest high in 2025. Okay, we're gonna keep this view app here. Okay. Sorry, we're gonna adjust that. But what I'm trying to get across is, if volatility is pricing in a correction, if volatility is pricing in, we're gonna expect to see higher vol. Why would anyone be a buyer up here? Like, really, why would they? Like, what is the value here? And even if we just look at like a chart pattern kind of statistic here, all right, we're just in rising wedge territory, right? I don't think it actually goes this far. It could, but like let's just look at the 4 hour. Same thing. How about the 3-day? Same thing. The weekly, same thing. The only one that's not showing really anything is the monthly. But why would it, right? Monthly takes time to build out. Even just like on the 15-minute here, if we go over to the futures, we're just expecting lower. And I'll be honest, I don't trust this metric at all, just because a lot of time it does false flag. But even just from looking at it from like an options perspective, like, why the fuck would anyone want to buy this? And listen, I don't know how high this is going to go, okay? We're in a range, we're still range bound, where, you know, let's say, I don't know, this is the high, this is the low, whatever, right? Like we're still range bound, but the problem is we're not breaking out, and we keep getting sold back in. So what are we gonna? Are we gonna bounce off this tomorrow and go up? I don't know. We have the Supreme Court ruling Friday, whatever. But like, how much more steam does this market have to go up? And I'll be honest, I think it corrects before it does go up and make new highs. I don't even know if it's gonna make new highs after it corrects, but like, the fact of the matter is like the steam is running out, and I don't know, like I was thinking about this too today, but why would JP Morgan strike the top of the collar so close to the top of the positioning of the market? Because once it just pushes through the collar, I mean, I don't know, it's just not. I don't even know. I guess I'm just like, I don't really have a price target. Like, are we just gonna go up? And what are we gonna do? Wick up to 7,200 quick before correcting? You know, are we just gonna do this and come down again? Like at some point the market's gonna have to make up its move here, and it's soon. Okay, like historically, the midterm election year is the roughest one to go through, is the most volatile. And it's going to be a Q1 correction. Like, everything is pointing to Q1. It's just, is it going to be January? Is it going to be February? Is it going to be March? Or is it going to be April? Like most models point to April. But it'd be weird to go back-to-back Aprils. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but I just think it's a lot closer than most are expecting. Again, I don't really have price targets to where it goes up or down. I'm just looking at options and volatility structures and indicators saying that, okay, it's got to be soon, right? And we talked about this in the other video too, but like even the Dow theory, right? Like the Dow is probably pointing to where it wants to move lower eventually, right? Being this overheated. And he took Venezuela, let's say he's not going to go for Greenland. He's been calling Greenland. It's just like so many things are heating up over the world. And yes, like war and stuff's good for markets, but like to start this with your NATO allies too, if you're going to do that, like that's just like that's not a good look, and I think a lot of people will lose confidence in this market, and not just American investors, but foreign investors, right? I don't think people understand. Yes, American capital moves markets a lot, and I'd argue that's a lot of that's due to greed. I say that as someone who lives in North America. But when you have foreign investors like European and Asia and God knows where else large capital is, but when those guys look at markets and go, okay, we don't have confidence to bid here, and we don't like what you're doing, what are they going to do? Well, they're going to sell off bonds, and they're going to sell off their position in the stock market. And I think it's just a matter of time before he really pisses somebody off. And I don't like to get political. Remember, I'm not Democratic. I'm not liberal. I'm not conservative. I don't care. I do not care about politics. But it's what this guy is doing that I care about. Where it's just like, dude, like, chill the fuck out. All right. And like, even today, just the whole real estate, how he just nuked real estate, and I guess that's somewhat good for smaller home buyers, but the market's going to react in a negative way at first, right? And like we're just at that point where it's overdue and overheated, and it's just a matter of time. But it's just concerning because so many people who have been just like, okay, this is an up only, easy to trade market, are just going to get wiped out. And it just sucks. Like, it really does suck because anyone who doesn't know what they're looking at, if they're just like an RSI trendline trader, they're just going to be looking at this going, okay, well, it looks like we're going to break out and shoot the new high soon because we're getting out of this range. And it's like, guys, every single time this stagnating pattern happens, the market drops. Listen, I'm not saying it can't rally higher, right? Like, it could easily, like I said, pop up to 72, 7,300. But who wants to be a confident long-term buyer here in U.S. markets right now? All right, and like I don't know, let's go look at the TPO, I guess, for yesterday. So what did we do? We left a single print behind yesterday, sold off lower, and we came right down to yesterday's value area low. Right? We left a single print here. Like I expect this to probably pop up and fill that before another move lower. But like, man, this just, I mean, I don't know. Like I really don't know anymore. I don't even know. Like it's just weak up here, and then it's straight leg down, no buying. And same thing yesterday. Like no one wants to buy here. Like you left this little issue here, right? This imbalance here. And I think a lot of people expected to bounce. Actually, yeah. If you look at this, you can kind of see on the curve line. Probably a lot of people thought this was gonna be a bounce spot where it's just gonna fill this and move higher. But again, like no one wants to bid up here, and it just sells off end of the day. And it's been doing this pattern over and over and over. I'm just frustrated in the sense of like it's been boring, but it's starting to get really volatile. And if we actually pay attention to what happened intraday on the VIX, oh man. Okay, well here actually we can look at this. This isn't candle structure, but look, what do you see? It's just like lows here, building out, retest of the point of control, and volatility is starting to just push up higher. Right? Like it's gradually starting to move up now, and they're failing to hold it down. It's got single prints to fill, and what's funny is this single print here, this is pretty much where if the VIX hits this and flips it, it's gonna just go straight up. And God forbid with how the options market has looked for the SPX, the volatility indicator, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. As much as I think 50 Cent is just bidding on like a 50-50 VIX roughly because they're selling the 75 call, buying the 37. Like I'm expecting a 40 to 50 VIX at least. If this thing actually fucks off with how the VIX has been moving lately and how it's structured from an options perspective, this thing's gonna rip to like 60 or 80 or something stupid. Like absolutely stupid. And another thing too, we're gonna pop over to this quick because actually we kind of want to talk about this. But every night now, like the Nikkei and like some of the hang side like sectors or indexes and tech sector has gone negative, the SPX has gone negative the next day. So, like last night, it was negative, and we started the day off higher, and then sold off today. And same thing tonight. It's just moving down. And futures in the after hours, they're down. All right, these are recover. They always, do their thing in the after hour. But it's like, again, like all these indexes, like look at the HSI. I like this thing looks like it wants to break down. It's just chopping sideways. And same thing with this. It's just up, down, down, right? Like it's just, I just don't see who wants to be a buyer in this market anymore. And again, the market can last a lot longer than majority can stay solvent, right? Like markets will do unspeakable things for however long, and just when you give up on like being bearish or being bullish, whatever, usually that's when it flips sides, right? So again, like just thinking about future volatility and how that looks, I mean, I don't know. And I don't know when the Japan ETF selling starts. Like it's probably going to be somewhat soon. We have this tariff thing coming up. I'll be honest, the Venezuela thing, I don't think markets are really impacted by. It's kind of, as cruel as it is to say this, it's priced in. But even the amount of oil they're extracting, it's like $2 billion for the day. That doesn't even cover a day of the United States' interest. Like $2 billion for the oil a day, that doesn't even, it doesn't even cover their 1 day of interest payment. And it's like, what the fuck is the point of this at this point? Like what are we doing? Things people bid on, like tech and stuff, is overheated. No one wants to catch a big bid on it. And we're just gone stagnant. And it's like I feel like we shouldn't have two major drawdowns, like in back-to-back years. Like usually it's like 1 year up, or sorry, 1 year down, 3 years up, 1 year down, 3 years up. But like, what if we got some weird fall spike where we just came down? And like, I don't know, or we could even come down and start building out a shoulder for like a head and shoulders pattern. Right? Like, I don't know, a head and shoulders on a big index like that. Fuck, that would be the most bearish thing in the world. But God, I don't actually think that happens. But I don't know. I'm sorry for ranting. I'm sorry for rambling. But I mean, let's even just look at the weekly. Right? Like, it's just, I mean, right now it's just inside bar, I guess. But it just looks like it's getting ready to flatten out and drop. It's just a matter of how long. Right? And again, the minute the XLF sells off, it's done. Because nothing else has been propping this up. And the drop's going to be fast. We've talked about this before, but from an options perspective, there's nothing below 6,400 to save the index. Buyers would have to step in. And I feel like buyer confidence is going to diminish. And even the other day, he said if they lose midterms, probably going to get impeached. And I don't know. It just seems like they're kind of going all out, make things as chaotic as possible because they're losing ground and losing people's confidence. I mean, that's not, like, unusual either, because a lot of times when you start losing, like, fiscal dominance and you're going into crisis mode, you start doing erratic and crash out like things. And I mean, I don't know. We're so close to, like, moving lower. It's just a matter of when. The exact date, I don't know. How low we go, I don't know. I have an idea, but I don't know. And yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'll stop rambling. Let's move over to something like Bitcoin. Bitcoin technically, like, I thought this was going to be the breakout. I really did. But what happened? We got to 94,000, almost 95. We'll call it 95. It was 94.8. And it just didn't want to do it. And I was actually looking at this pattern. Who was in office when... Who was in office last? In 2015. Where, like, let's pretend... Bitcoin now is kind of reminding me of 2014, where it came down, got like halfway up to like the retest point, and then just sold off. Like looking at this, I don't know what just happened. The guy just got halfway and sold off, and the guy who had the 100 million sell wall up here just removed it exactly when we got into the zone, and then everyone came in here and sold off. And I'm like starting to wonder if it's so weak on Bitcoin that we're not going to get the 100K retest. I think for Bitcoin, if it's by February 20th that we do not get that retest of 100K, I think it moves a lot lower. There's been no interest. There's been no demand. And everyone's like, oh, look at the spot ETF inflows. Guys, you realize they're not buying the asset. They put the asset in that ETF holding, like their wallet, whatever, from whatever exchange they're custodied at. This, like, the spot demand isn't there. So the way that the ETF exchange holding works is like whatever the exchange has on its reserves just transfers in and out to whatever that ETF holding requires for that day. Until there's an actual demand surplus where they have to buy off the book, not just what they have in exchange. Like it's not going to affect the fucking price. Okay, like they're not just buying $1 billion worth of Bitcoin or $200 million of Bitcoin every day. No, guys, whatever the exchange has on its reserves lends it out to that ETF until they run out of actual supply to take in and out. Then they buy. But right now, like, there's no there's no demand. Like it's just going in and out, in and out. There's no actual new long-term buying, if that makes sense. Like they're not actually buying the asset. They're just taking it from the reserve, holding it. Whenever they have to change their inflows or outflows, they just move it. And everyone's like, this should be the super cycle. This should be the super cycle. And yesterday, the MSCI news, no one read the fucking article. No one read it. The first headlines on Twitter were MSCI is keeping MSTR in the MSI index. Guys, go read the article. And if you want to call me fucking retarded, guys, look, no one even made an attempt for a recovery. No one even tried. Like the first 30 minutes of the fucking day. Yeah, this is when the news broke out here. And everyone was like, "Oh my god, we're back." And look at this. We sold off nearly like a full $4,000 today. Nearly. Just a little shy of that. Probably like 3.5. But like no one read the article. Everyone just ran with the first news line they held on Twitter, and no one understood what the article was about. And even if we look at like MSTR MNAV today, it's at 105 now, but it literally went to 1.0 when that news dropped. It went to 1.0. And if you guys don't understand the MNAV, when this goes below 1.0, it basically means that Bitcoin's a better value than strategy itself to buy. But at the same time, when it's below 1.0, they're going to have to sell off some to basically, what is it, pay out shareholders or raise stock? I forget what the fucking... Yeah, I should honestly know it off the top of my head, but I'm just so fried right now and just stressed out. And not even stressed out, I'm just annoyed. I'm just fucking annoyed. But, like, how are we supposed to get a super cycle when there's no bidding? And that's what I mean, is like retail takes something and they go out and just like amplify it. They like everyone was like, "Oh my god, spot ETF's the most bullish thing in the world," and meanwhile, it was just a slow grind up. There wasn't any like crazy euphoria. Yes, we made new all-time highs. The long term for it's great. The long term for it being able to have access for multiple entities and individual retailers, whatever, great, fantastic. But it's every cycle this happens, where retail takes one news narrative or something and just fucking runs with it. And just runs with it. And it's never different. And then when everything underperforms or catches people off guard, or you get some weird flush lower or a bear market or whatever, then everyone's like, well, it's manipulated, it's rigged, it's a Ponzi. And it's like people forget what this whole thing was supposed to be about. It was not supposed to have Wall Street taking over. It was not supposed to have centralized control. It was not supposed to have this narrative of it's a get-rich-quick thing. It was supposed to be an alternative currency to the financial system and a source of decentralized custody for people to hold, trade, move, whatever, without being restricted and having full freeform. Look at the market right now. It's even flopping right now. Look at that. You see that? It just dropped a couple $100. So did ETH. ETH just dropped like a couple, not $100, but yeah, like minus 18, minus 17, like. Again, this could all change by tomorrow, right? But the point I'm trying to get is here is, guys, like, everything's overheated, and Bitcoin always front runs liquidity. It always does this every cycle. It's done it since it was born. It's never been different. Okay, and people are like, well, no, you're wrong. We never got euphoria. We have to go higher. Guys, there's been plenty of times where Bitcoin underperformed. Look at this. The stock market went up, and it just went down. Okay, and same thing here. Like the market still grinded higher while Bitcoin went down. Same thing here. Bitcoin went down while the market grinded higher, while SPX grinded higher. Okay, and yes, in recent times, has it become a bit more correlated? Absolutely. But that's how it is. It's become more centralized. Right? And now, look at this huge divergence we have again. And, like, I keep seeing all these posts about, well, we're due for upside. We know we've built out these awesome composites. And yes, we're due for some temporary upside to do the squeeze the market has always done for Bitcoin. Every single cycle it tries to do it, where it goes to the 100-week and tries to push up to the 52-week. Every cycle it tries. But that's bear market confirmation. And I'm just sick and tired. Like, I don't know, let's even just look at USDT dominance. It's a triple top, while the market, or, oh, whoops, wrong ticker. Look at USDT dominance, guys. Like, it made a triple top every high it made. And this shows you that there's not confidence in long-term holders and long-term buyers. And again, retail's running with this whole, we need to move higher. We need to move higher. Like, we haven't got euphoria. Like, the stock market's up this much. Bitcoin's going to catch up. Guys, unless there's some weird narrative where Bitcoin just fucking, I don't know, like, catches a bid. Like, I don't think people understand how these metrics work, right? They're internal market metrics. You can look at USDT dominance, you can look at Bitcoin dominance, you can look at ETH dominance, you can look at whatever narrative you want. But guys, this is telling you that there's no demand from big buyers. This was a weak rally. This was a stronger rally. And this was the weakest rally, even though it went to a new all-time high. But do you not see how this works on a percentage scale? Like, when it goes up, that means people are converting to stables, meaning they're saving capital. That's what it means. Yes, I show the inverted chart because it's easy to read. But you guys, I don't think a lot of people understand that this is not good. Okay, from 4% to 6.7% now, that's 2.7% more stable coins being held because people are not confident in the upside bid. If we blast through and make an all-time high, I'll fucking I don't know, call me gay. I don't care. But like, people are really just, I think, not understanding that, like, this is not good. And like, I guess we got some slight rounding off here. Whoopsies. I gotta, like, some slight rounding off here on the Bitfinex longs. Maybe? But like, what if you're right here, where people think, oh my god, look, we're about to push higher. Remember how this metric we explained it in other videos? Maybe I'll invert it so we understand. But what if we're like right here again, where it's about to round off a little bit before just nuking another like 30%? Well, let's look at this, for example. Drawdown was 93% in 2013. 2014 to 2017 is 86 to 87%. 2018 2021 is 75 to 70%. So see, roughly, it goes, roughly 10% are the drawdowns. So I would expect the next one to probably be 65% correction, right? Well, let's take a look here. Let's say that this is the top, right? Let's say it is, because I'll be honest, it fucking is. Just whatever. Okay. Let's say we're gonna go to 65%. What's down there at 65%? our 300 and 200 week SMA, right? Roughly. Okay, we could go. What is the 300 at? 49. But like that's been a historical like good bottoming signals, the 300 week. But again, this cycle here, like it went a little below it. That's not surprising, right? 65% downwards, that bring you right into that $43,000 zone, which I've said over and over is probably a good spot to buy. If you look at something like this, where technically it should bottom towards like October, maybe early of 2027. Yeah, I don't know where exactly it bottoms at, but that would be a good spot, like kind of down there to, like, I don't know, let's go something like that. How do we connect the candles here? Well, let me connect these candles first. Let's do something like that, okay? But you would come down and probably just test that, right? So I'll be honest, it's a great buying opportunity down here. I'd rather buy at 42 than up at 126, right? Yeah, like, I don't know, man. I think people have like just they've set their expectations so high, and they're just gonna set themselves up for disappointment. And I mean, guys, the altcoins, if the cycle was truly going to go to, and like as much as I don't believe in buying alts, they would be higher. They would be. ETH is okay right now, but if Bitcoin dominance like is going to rip again, I'll be honest, it probably is, right? Like it always does this, where it goes up and then it finds resistance for a bit and then just moves higher. It's not an uncommon pattern, right? Like here, for example, look, it finds resistance, and then it blasts through it, right? Here too, it finds resistance and then just blasts higher, right? Like, I don't know, like if Bitcoin will probably soar in dominance wise, while ETH and stuff probably goes lower. But like the top alts and stuff, they would not be bleeding like this if there was going to be big whales buying in demand, right? Um, it's yeah, like I don't know. I really don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I mean, I guess I'll go over. Like, look, guys, this is your composite down here. Remember we have our weekly as well, but this is your daily composite. Like, there's no reason why we should have closed today back under the previous value area high. And look, we're just moving lower. Like, there's no reason we should have closed back within this range if this was going to be a true breakout. And I guess you have the weekly. Yes, you can close the week above it if you catch a bid. Okay? But at no point should this be closing back into value. And I think a lot of people are misunderstanding too is if this was April, where we bounced from, like the April composite, okay, like April's back here. Remember, we gotta think about this on the weekly, right? But like where we bounced from was the bottom of the April value area low, which is it is telling us we're accepting back into lower value, right? I guess we have this 2-day composite here, but what did you guys see? Look, today we opened up, or pardon me, yesterday we opened up, touched the point of control from that 2-day composite, and then just fucked off lower back into previous day's value, previous weekly value. That's a 7-week composite we're back into. That should be more than enough. More than enough. More than enough structure for us to break out of and hold above. More than enough. And the breakout didn't even go and fill the poor high. Right? And listen, again, it's not over yet. There's plenty of time. But for Christ's sake, you guys, like, to even accept into a breakout higher, like, you would have to clear, like, you would have to flip at least 108, get above this value area low from the breakdown, and move higher. And we're still $18,000 away from that with no fucking demand coming in for it yet. I mean, listen, if you want to set your hopes and say that we're going to new highs, whatever, by all means, be my guest. I where's the 200? 105, about to come down. Okay. I mean, you might go up and fill the single print and touch the 365. Yeah, where's the value area low? You know what? That's probably what's gonna happen. I guarantee they go up and touch this value area low here, go to 365. By the time the 200 will come down, this single print will get filled. It's possible. It's possible. I don't know. At this rate, with how bad this has been, I would not be surprised if it doesn't happen. I think it's literally a 50-50. I don't think it's like a 70-30 or 30-70 odds. I think it's literally a 50-50 where it might happen, it might not. It's going to depend what the SPX does here over the course of the next 3 weeks. And again, everyone's like, I'm probably going to see one of these tweets on Twitter where it's, well, what if capital flows out of stocks into Bitcoin? Guys, I promise you, I absolutely promise you, whether it's with this administration, how they've put meme coins on chain, they've got World Liberty Fi on chain now, legislature, regulation, whatever you want to call it, has not been fully built out yet. There's so many puts on the stablecoins for the Genius Act, which stablecoins move the market. They're so important to the market. In God's fucking name and vein, I swear to God, there's no way in hell that the fucking Wall Street's gonna come in and save you guys and push you to all-time highs. I hate to sound like the bear. I love cryptocurrency. I love trading it. But my God, has this cycle been an absolute fucking disgrace? I'm frustrated. I'm probably gonna get offline and stop recording because I'm just gonna keep swearing and sound like a gay fucking faggot bear. But I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, this shit is cooked for now. Absolutely cooked. But, if you want me to get kind of bullish for a second here, this might cross somewhat soon. Not saying like next month or whatever, but this metric here, the 365 by 728, or like, it's hard to say, but this usually does mark at least near a low. So where would that be? That'd be right here. 18K, 15K was the floor. This here, the floor was kind of back here before it crossed, but 3,000 compared to 3,100, 3,005. I mean, that's $400 range. Same thing here. This kind of marked the low at 300. Wait, the 169. That's whatever. But like this metric here, when these cross, like usually it marks a pretty good low. That might be coming up somewhat soon in the next couple months. So maybe you do get the super cycle reset. I don't know. Maybe you do. Okay, but that could be kind of bullish, right? Like we could think of that on the long scope of things. Yeah. I guess the other metric is USDT dominance. I mean, it's only got 3.5% to move to 10%, and that marks cycle lows. Where we at here? Well, I guess right now it's at 6%, so you got about 4%. But if you think about it from this low here, by the time this curve comes around, let's just say out in August, yeah, maybe 9%ish. I mean, it's not that much farther to go. Right? Like, it's not going to go to zero until it does. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess for the bulls, we are above the bullish line for now. For now. Yeah, for now. I think it just goes up and touches this or something and just dicks out. I don't know. It sucks. Like, the meme coins ruined this cycle. It was so toxic, so detrimental. what this administration has done and just gone on chain, and I don't know. But it's so similar to 2019. One of these I could see for the cycle top not being in is like is that the 200 week didn't cross the previous all-time high yet. But the only invalidation I'd say for that is like last cycle it happened later, where it kind of broke, and it actually came after the top was in. It could be like how this time's happening too. But the only other thing I could think of is like, is it hasn't crossed up to here yet. Maybe it's still got some catching up to do. And then maybe it'd get a correction, then go up again before it crosses and tops. So I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to think about. What's weird too is maybe if these death cross at some point, that actually marks the low. Hard to say. Like right here, like these death crossed. It was close to the low, not quite, but I mean it kind of was. That was actually the first time I've done that, huh? Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I'm gonna stop rambling. I feel like shooting myself in the face. I'm just kidding. I don't. I love you guys, but I don't know. I'm just so goddamn annoyed. Just like let the thing goddamn sink or send it higher for everything. Like just get it over with. This has been it's going on almost 4 months of just chopping around. Bitcoin, I guess, is nuked and now it's chopping around. But this SPX has just got to make up its goddamn mind.